Over the course of your studies, you'll have been asked to engage with a number of articles from peer-reviewed academic journals. And so far, these Study Skills podcasts have supported you in understanding their nature and significance, and in engaging with them effectively and with purpose. In this podcast, we aim to develop these skills, providing guidance on how to actually find articles independently. Mastering journal searches is a fundamental skill in academic practice, and also a really useful one. Whilst there are some quirks and inconsistencies in the process, once you've built your confidence and your patience at searching and accessing these resources, they make your life much easier. One of the really great things about academic journals is that they're increasingly available electronically, which means you can search at your leisure from home, download articles and print them as you see fit. Before we actually jump into this process, it's worth understanding a bit about academic journals and how they're published. They work a little bit like a magazine, with each having its own particular focus and theme. You'll find journals, for instance, which are specifically focused on an issue within education, or those which are interested in a theoretical or methodological approach to education. Understanding that journals have these themes is a useful starting point, as it means that you'll often find entire collections of articles which are relevant to your interests. Like a magazine, journals have several issues in a given year. They might, for instance, be one a month. And these are organised into volumes, often 4 a year. This example, for instance, is issue 1 of volume number 21. Journals are produced by commercial publishers, and these companies often output a large number of journals on very different themes. One of the most basic ways of finding your own articles is through the websites of these companies. However, you should remember that these will only index the journals which that particular company publishes. If you're using this strategy, then it's good practice to search more than one website. So let's have a look at one of these websites. I'm going to choose Ingenta Connect. Just a quick note that it may look a bit different depending on whether you're at home or on the university network. If you're not on the university network, your first task is to log in. Believe it or not, this is one of the most complicated bits of finding academic journals. You need to locate a link to either Alternative Login or Shibboleth Login. Here, it's Shibboleth. This will take you to a page in which you can select your institution. And then log in using your usual username and password. Once you've done this, you'll be authenticated as an MMU user, and you'll be able to access all of the journals that the university subscribes to for free. Searching journals is just like any other search engine. You enter your key terms in the search box, and then you're off. Just a quick word of warning though, don't give up on the first attempt. Try lots of different possible search terms, and varying how specific and general you are. And this is often where students fall foul of the process. In this illustration, I'm going to search for articles on popular culture in the classroom. Note that I've used classroom here to anchor it in education. Otherwise, you'll get all of the articles on everything that references popular culture. This might be interesting, but in your early searching, it'll probably be overwhelming. By using classroom, I've narrowed the search parameters a little. If this is no good, I might try education and school as alternatives. So now I just go ahead and search the database. And it'll return a list of articles you may potentially find interesting. I'm particularly interested in this one by Jackie Marsh. If I click on it, I get the document information and the abstract. On the basis of this, I've decided that I want to download it, and because I've logged in using Shibboleth, I can do this simply by clicking the PDF button. Whilst there'll be minor differences between different companies' websites, you'll find a large number of articles are accessible using this strategy, but not all of them. You can only access those things that the university subscribes to. This said, if you don't get access to an article straight away, it's worth searching elsewhere, perhaps putting the title into Google, because there may be a subscription to the same article published elsewhere. If you log in at university, you'll also see a Find It at MMU logo on the page. This will automatically redirect you to places where you can access the article. So we've run through the basic process of finding articles using publishers' websites. So we've run through the basic process of finding articles using Publisher's website. There is, however, an alternative strategy. You can also use search engines which index all of the different publisher sites and therefore give you a better overview of what's available. Google Scholar is one such website, and there's also a search option within Mendeley. There's also a good alternative hosted by MMU called Searchit, and we're going to have a play with that here. You can access Searchit using this website address, or by clicking on the Searchit link on the library website. You'll be asked to log in and then presented with a page that looks like this. Here, select Education and Childhood Studies to narrow your search, and enter your search terms in the search box. The Searchit engine will search lots of different journal sources and compile the answers. When it's done, click View Retrieved, and you'll be given pages of possible articles. When you find one that you like the look of, you can access the actual resource by clicking on this square, which will enable you to search university holdings for this particular resource. It will open a pop-up with instructions on how to access the article. In most cases, you will just have to click Go to access the particular resource you're after. From here, you just need to log in, again using Shibboleth or alternative login. Once you've done this, you'll be able to download the article directly. In this podcast, we've looked at two different approaches to finding academic articles. Neither is perfect, and it's a good idea of getting into the habit of using both, and trying as many different search terms as you can. Once you've found a useful article, look for options to log in using Shibboleth, institutional, or alternative login, and you'll generally gain access for free. Where you can't, don't get frustrated. Try searching for the same article in different places. The crucial thing is not to get frustrated and give up. Finally, I'll leave you with one last hint. When you find interesting reading, pay attention to the references on which the author draws. Quite often, you'll find seams of literature which you can pursue independently. Look at the reference list and Google the title of interesting articles in quotation marks to find the exact phrase. From there, you can often locate the original articles and access them in the same way as ones you found using publishers' websites, MMU Searchit or Google Scholar.